We want the two creative people. We know our business. We know our brand. We need for you to do the things that we can't do. We know everything else.
So would you mind sort of just sharing a little bit around this idea of big versus small and where that came from and how it influences your work in building the brands that you do?
Advertising was a really different animal when I started in the late 80s and early 90s, and everything was big budget commercials. And for big blue chip clients at, like a Leo Burnett, big global clients. And they required legions of people, teams and teams of creatives and creative directors and group creative directors and executive creative directors. And that's just on the creative side. We made a reference back to David Ogilvy, who had lamented that, if advertising agencies were a dairy farm, you had more milkers than you had cows. In a way, you're very coddled as a creative person because all the other functions of making advertising and commercials and everything else was taken care of by someone else, another team of people. And so we're free to think. And for some of us, that was great for a while. We were sort of always removed from the people who were most, I guess, invested in the brands that we served, Again, while there were many brilliant minds who ran those accounts, we didn't meet Mr. Kellogg, we didn't meet Mr. General Motors, and so we just decided that let's go to the other extreme. We've been in the big ivory tower of, with the titans of advertising for many years. And what if we did the opposite? If you're really, really, really into making a creative statement, you really want to get your hands dirty and you really want to see behind the scenes. You really want to know what you're talking about and who you're talking to. And that requires a deeper connection to a client. Most fulfilling of all was Turner Classic Movies, and we really learned our lessons there about the beauty and importance of smallness. And when we met them, they asked us after the pitch. They said, "Who are all those people who came to the pitch?" We said, "Well, that was, those were all the top executives and everybody." And they said, "Frankly, we don't want those people. We want the people who are going to be doing the work." And that was a really fresh thing to hear at a big global agency like a Leo Burnett from a client to say, "We only want the two of you. We want the two creative people. We know our business. We know our brand. We need for you to do the things that we can't do. We know everything else." The two women who created Turner Classic Movies and the two creative directors who did the work for Turner Classic Movies, the four of us were prolific. We were efficient. We did more work in less time than anybody else at that big agency, and more work and better work and award-winning work in less time and less pain than we'd ever experienced.
When people are talking about great work that's revered through, for many years, that it's often that there was a relationship at the heart of that, where the clients and whoever was creating that work sort of connected and saw eye to eye, and there was, like a push and a pull between them, and an understanding of what was trying to be achieved, what the outcome was, and then sort of this relentless pursuit of that.